I'm going to rank every MoYu 3x3 from the worst to the best so that you know which are awful and which are incredible. So let's begin with the one I like the least, and that is the WRM 2021. This cube just doesn't hold up anymore. It's far too loose, way too uncontrollable, and genuinely frustrating to use at higher turning speeds. At the time, it was meant to be a premium flagship, but there was no balance. The cube feels floaty and unstable, and trying to get consistent solves on it is now just not realistic. It might have had a few decent features, such as the adjustable magnets, but in practice, it's probably the worst performing MoYu 3x3 in today's market. Next up is the RS3M 2020. Now this used to be the go-to budget cube for a long time, with solid performance, smooth turning, and a price that actually made it accessible to pretty much everyone. But the reality is, it's 5 years old, and cubes have moved on. Compared to what's available now, the RS3M 2020 just doesn't offer enough. The corner cutting is outdated, the magnet strength is weak, and there are far better budget options with way more features. It was good for its time, but its time is very much over.
Before we go on to the third cube on this list, remember that you can now become a member of this channel to gain access to exclusive videos every month that normal viewers don't get to see. There are already 4 of these waiting for you and a bunch of extra features, so click the join button below or the top link in the description to become a member. But back to it, and now we have got the YS3M.
This one had potential. It sits in a weird middle ground between flagship and mid-range, but it never really found its place. Performance wise, it's alright, with a decent overall feeling and good corner cutting that rivals some of its competitors, but for the price it just doesn't make sense anymore. There are cubes with better turning, more modern hardware and lower prices, so whilst the YS3M isn't terrible, it's been outclassed across the board. The lack of compelling features combined with its high cost is really what holds it back, meaning it's just not competitive anymore. Next is the WRM version 9. This is where we really start to get into the genuinely good cubes. The turning feel is smooth, it performs well in solves, and the magnet strength is solid, but it's let down by an outdated tensioning system and very little adjustment possibilities. In a world where almost every cube has some sort of dual adjustment system or customizable magnets, the V9 feels stuck in the past. And even though it turns well, the lack of setup choices makes it harder to get it exactly how you want, which means that the V9 is outshadowed by new 3x3s. Moving on, we've got the Huameng TG. This cube actually surprised me. It's got a ridiculous amount of customization, more than basically any other MoYu cube, and the turning is smooth and consistent, but it still falls slightly short of being top tier. The corner cutting isn't quite on the same level of the best cubes out there, and whilst it's definitely fun to experiment with, I wouldn't consider it a main. That's because the sheer amount of choices can be overwhelming and not necessary for the majority of people. Still, it's a strong offering with lots of potential, especially if you're into fine-tuning and maximizing every possible setup option. Next is the RS3M V5. This is one of the best budget to mid-range cubes available right now. It's fast, stable, and has solid features like maglev, a ball core, and UV coating, all at a reasonably low price. The performance is good enough to rival cubes that cost double, and it's clearly MoYu's most competitive budget release as of right now. If you want raw value and high performance without spending a lot, this is the cube to go for. I can confidently say that you will not be disappointed with this 3x3, as it is one of the best available right now, not even considering the price. But for those people who are willing to pay for the highest quality and best turning, we finally have the WRM V10, which is at the top of the list. This is easily the best MoYu 3x3 I've used. The corner cutting is excellent, the adjustment system has finally been updated, and the performance is consistently high across all turning styles. It's what the WRM 2021 wanted to be, which is fast but controllable, customizable but simple to set up, and easily one of the favourites among cubers. For the time being, this is definitely one of the best MoYu cubes, and maybe even one of the best 3x3s of any brand, but that could be short-lived with the WRM V11 just around the corner. So if you want to see my review of that cube when it comes out, make sure to subscribe and let me know in the comments if you agree with this ranking. Drop a like if you have enjoyed, and thank you very much for watching.